Hi there, Sagittarius. Thank you for joining me for your monthly forecast for June. Of course, you know that your planet is a fire sign, and this gives you the potential to initiate. But you have a quality, and the quality that characterizes your sign is that of mutability, and that helps you to be flexible. But over the last few years, cardinal energy, which is very much a leadership energy, has dominated the heavens. And this has led to some big dust-ups globally between the need for freedom and the need for traditionality. And we've seen clashes going on all around the globe during this period of time. And of course, sometimes during our own personal situations too. But June is a marker in time when there's going to be a big clustering of energy, which is all about your mutability. So the very qualities that are key to your sign and your personality are going to come very much more into focus for us all for the next 5 years. This is your opportunity to flow with things, to show just how talented you can be. And this is characterized at the very start of this month by how you interact with other people. And there's an opportunity for you to add a significant extra charm and a silken quality to how you interact with others. This is because the Sun is combining with Venus, the planet of love, but also the planet of graciousness, but in the sign of Gemini, which, like you, is mutable. So you can see the pattern building up. But there is an opposition between the Sun and Venus and Saturn in your sign in the first week of this month, suggesting that there may be a relationship that could come to a point where it requires some kind of audit. Now, the easy way to approach this situation is going to be to kind of avoid it, because that's what mutability can mean. Sometimes there can be a desire to flex away from direct confrontation. Now, of course, you can be very direct, and if you have a message that you want to convey to other people, very much to the point. But that's not quite the same as an exchange of emotional energies. And someone may have something to say to you earlier in this month, and it's going to be important that you give them the opportunity to speak out. Part of the reason for this, Sagittarius, is that Mars, the power planet of the zodiac, and the planet which is very much to do with our desires, is backtracking in a very delicate part of your situation and will be rewinding through to the 28th. This retrograde can stir up all sorts of sediment deep within your psyche that you may not be so conscious of right at the start of the month. Therefore, if someone does want to pin you a little bit about a particular attitude or approach you have, try not to dismiss them or dominate the discussion to avoid looking at a vulnerability that they're identifying within you. You may just find that at times your emotions are a little bit closer to the surface. This can be very positive, but it can mean that you could be tetchier or perhaps a little more tearful at times. But some very old, trapped emotional debris could make its way to the surface this month. And the key area, I certainly feel in the first 2/3 of June, is relationships. Now, the other big factor that's going to be played out this month is the role of Jupiter, your ruler. Jupiter forges one tricky aspect or angle and one superb one. Now, the tricky one is its opposition with Neptune, which runs on from last time, but it feeds into a square with Saturn in your sign and also a square with the Sun and Venus in the sign of Gemini. And this is known as a grand cross. And this is what's so significant for us all. The whole world needs to respond to a more fluid kind of way of being, not taking such fixed positions that it leads to inflexibility and fighting and a dominating kind of energy, which is not good for anyone. We need to compromise, to give and take. And you could be a leader in this movement, and it can be played out in your personal relationships as much as your wider views. However, there is a new moon on the 5th of June, which can be significant around a relationship. There may be a point here, and in the months following, where you may have to make a decision. It could be about someone you meet brand new this month. This person can bring real excitement to your life. You may meet them professionally. They may be from a different age group to you, but they certainly could make your pulse race a lot quicker. But you need to be realistic about what they can bring into your world and keep your expectations nailed down. That's Saturn helping you to be grounded, solid and sensible. At the time, it could feel a bit restricted. There may even be someone you're drawn towards who doesn't reciprocate how you feel, and that could be disappointing. But there can be growth around your relationships if you're prepared to knit in with others and let go of a little bit of a need to avoid responsibility or avoid commitment, which can be a Sagittarian trait. This is going to become much more obvious once Venus moves into the most passionate part of your scope on the 18th. This can trigger some new funds financially and also a hot new relationship, or heat up an existing one. This is followed by the Sun on the 21st and also Mercury on the 30th. And then you're going to be much more conscious of what people really mean rather than what they're saying to you. And tease out those secrets, become much more aware of your own motivations and those of others. But once Mars starts to go forwards on the 28th, I do feel you can feel a release of tension. Now, once Mars comes back into your sign, you're going to start to step forwards again. So there may be a sense in some ways that you're going to be treading some water psychologically. But go with it. Try to be flexible. Try to be a little more vulnerable in your relationships. And you may be amazed by how you look back on the rest of June when you get to its end and how things have panned out for you. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Thank you for joining me. Good luck and goodbye for now.